Hey everyone, it's Steve from the garden. In today's video, I'm going to be planting my tomatoes now that the weather has warmed up to a point where it looks like we're all free of the frost and our temperatures at night are going to be at least 50 degrees or higher. Now I'm going to be doing these tomatoes using 3 different trellis systems. So as I go through and plant each of the tomatoes, I'll show you what that trellis system is. For my 2 different types of tomatoes, I have my determinants, which this year is going to be the summer pick. And I have my indeterminates, which are the San Marzano and the Amish paste. Now for the summer pick, which are the determinates, they get, maybe 3.5 or so feet tall. So I'm going to set up a Florida weave, and that's what you see here. For supporting the tomatoes, I'm going to be using electrical conduit. This is 1/2 inch EMT, and I space these 2 feet apart. So I'll put the plant right in the middle at 12 inches. So they'll be 2 feet apart also. And once I get the plants in, I'll do that Florida weave where I run the string in between the plants. Now you might wonder, well, why did I put so many posts in? For one, I'm doing 4 determinate tomatoes, so I have plenty of these posts left over. And last year, once these summer picks got fully loaded toward, the mid to late summer, they were so heavy that even driving these into the ground, it didn't bend the conduit, but it did kind of lean over a little bit. So I made sure this year I pounded them in a full 2 feet, and I got more of them to provide more support. For planting these, some of these plants got really long, like this one actually just broke. So the sucker here, that will grow out and become the new leader. But because this is so long, I'm going to actually plant this one horizontally. So I will dig out like a little trench here. Put that in horizontally and bend that stem up so it comes out in the middle where I want it. Pack that down, and that one will be ready now. I'll start the Florida weave by wrapping it around the post and then tying a knot and move it between the plant and then to the next post. Wrap it around that post a couple times. Go around the next plant, next post, next plant. Wrapping it around each post a couple times until I get to the end. At the end, I will wrap it around a couple times and then tie a knot. And once I come back from the other direction, I will run the string on the opposite side of the plant and then wrap it around the post. And that way the string, with it being on each side of the plant, will hold it up in the center. Our Florida weave is now complete. All the plants have a string on each side to hold them up. And as they continue growing, I will add more levels of string. You can see, like on this post, when I was doing this last year, you can see where I kind of tied them off. This is one of the San Marzanos, which is an indeterminate, and it got really long also. So I'm going to go ahead and plant this one horizontally, just like I did one of the summer picks. For the San Marzanos, I'm single stemming these up to about 3 foot. And after they reach about 3 feet, I will let them bush out. And that'll help control how tall they get and makes it a little bit better cover and easier for me to harvest. Now, I dug the root ball part of the hole down a little bit deeper, and that way it kind of forms like a natural up angle toward that post where I want to tie it to. This will allow the plant to grow roots all along that stem without me having to dig like a really deep hole for it. For the plants that are a more reasonable height, I can just dig a nice hole, get them down deep. Again, it's just so that we can let those roots form along the stem. This one I can just pop in, fill that back in, snug that down, and then lean it up toward my support. Now these suckers on this, like I said, I'm single stemming these up to 3 feet. So that sucker right there, I'm just going to pop that one off so it doesn't start forming a new stem. Last thing I'll do is I'm going to just take some twine and I'm going to kind of tie that to the post so it stays in position. I don't want to get very tight so that as the plant grows, it has room to expand without choking off that stem. And then as it continues growing, I'll just keep tying it off to the pole. The third way I'm going to trellis these tomatoes is a modified version of Josh Stanton's Trellis to Make You Jealous. So I ran a piece of conduit across the top and they're sitting on pieces of conduit. And I ran a string down, wrapped it around the plant, and I put a stick at the end here just to hold the string tight. Now I ran out of twine and I have some more coming in a couple days where I'll do these other two tomatoes here. But it'll be the same way. I'll just tie them to a stick on the bottom, wrap them around, and then bring them up and tie them up here to the pole. I have all the tomatoes planted now. Originally I was going to plant 8 of the San Marzanos. I ended up planting 9. You know, people will talk about chicken math, and I don't know if there's a tomato math as a thing, but it probably should be. Until next time, I hope you enjoyed. Hope you got something out of this, and we'll see you on the next one.